One more moment. We have another guest coming in. Hello, Caroline.
Hello, sorry to be
Good.
late.
Okay, I can hear. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Good. Well, let's get started. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Woodowis, co-chair of Greenwood Women Care, and I am pleased to welcome you to our quarterly meeting. Tonight, we're going to spend an hour together reconnecting and recommitting to our goals of learning, giving, and growing. But before we begin our program officially, I want to take a few moments to make sure we're all as comfortable as possible with this platform. So here are a few basics to help us. Please mute your microphone if you haven't already. We already have dozens of attendees in this meeting, and even the slightest background noise is going to be heard by everyone. The mute function is on the bottom left corner of your screen or on the top right corner of your individual face screen, I believe. It may depend on the device you're using. Thanks to those of you who are sharing your faces with us tonight. We'd love to see your faces, and if you are comfortable and your video stream is working well enough to share your faces, please do. However, if you have trouble with your internet connection at any point, closing off your video for a moment can help boost the reception. So let's see how that goes. At the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see different views, gallery view, speaker view, and so on. And you may want to choose speaker view to emphasize the person that's presenting at any moment, or we can just keep, you know, these little boxes going, whatever you prefer. During the course of the meeting, we're sharing some PowerPoint slides and videos. As the technical person in charge, which is kind of a joke in and of itself, please be patient if it takes me a moment to pull up what we're attempting to share. But also, if at any point you're trying to see what's on the screen and you've got all these beautiful faces in front of you instead of a slide or video, use your mouse to drag those faces over into a corner somewhere to clear the main part of your screen and see what's going on. At each of our quarterly meetings, we focus on worthy work in our community, specifically in Greenwood County. And tonight we're going to be hearing from Teresa Goodman about community initiatives, emphasis on child literacy. And we'll also learn about the adult literacy and English as a second language program at the Greenwood County Library, directed by Patty Fender. And afterwards, we'll have a few important announcements from our Grants Review Committee. We want to extend a special warm welcome to the guests that we have with us tonight. Joy, Andrea, Denise, Caroline, Sharon, Teresa, Shanna, Sylvia, and perhaps others who have gotten word of this meeting and decided to join us. Thank you for logging in and being here tonight. We're so glad you're here. Greenwood Women Care is an organization that's 129 members strong and growing and always open, who are committed to learning about the needs and opportunities in our community. Through our annual granting cycle, we are giving collectively to support the good work of local nonprofits, and we are growing together as a community of women and growing personally as we engage in this good work together. Consider the collective giving power of women when 129 women can move $74,000 into our community in our second granting year. We hope that many, many more women will be inspired to join us, and you will be most welcome. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to Louise Robinson, who's going to introduce our program.
Good evening, great women of GWC and guests. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you tonight's program. We have been given the task, the canvas, the paintbrush, the pens, to create a beautiful portrait of what Greenwood looks like by learning and using what Greenwood has to offer a better way for better programs and a positive and make a better difference in the future. This year, for those who can see, we have learned about the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays Historic Site. And tonight, we will light the way with literacy by focusing on two great programs. One being the Community Initiative Safe Haven program and the Greenwood County Library Adult Literacy Program. What does Greenwood have to offer? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have a heart that is ready to learn, give, and grow to make our county shine. Thank you for your presence here this evening. Please sit back, relax, and learn. And now I'll turn the mic over to Dawn, who will introduce our first presenter.
Louise is always a hard act to follow, but I have some good information for you. So our first speaker this evening is Teresa Suber Goodman with Community Initiatives. She is a native of Clinton, South Carolina, a graduate of South Carolina State University with both a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Master of Science in Individual and Family Development. She obtained a second master's degree in Management and Leadership from Webster University. Throughout her career, Teresa has worked for numerous agencies, including the South Carolina Department of Social Services, the Department of Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse Services, the Department of Juvenile Justice, South Carolina First Steps, and Carolina Health Centers, where she created, developed, assessed, and evaluated key programs and services. As the Executive Director of Community Services, Inc., she continues to develop and manage public support programs. Teresa is a member of the Greenwood Rotary Club and serves on the board of the directors of the Bowers-Rogers Children's Home and the Food Bank in Greenwood County. She is a past board member of the United Way of Greenwood and Abbeville counties, where she represented the interests of 20 nonprofit organizations. Teresa is also a member of the Greenwood Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., where she co-chairs the fundraising and publicity committees and completed the South Atlantic Region's Leadership Fellows Program. She is a graduate of Leadership Greenwood and was elected as a 2016 Connect Young Professionals Greenwood Under 40 Stars. As a member of the Women's Leadership Council, Teresa was selected to co-chair the 2017 Women's Leadership Upstate Conference. Teresa is the wife of Derek Goodman, mom of Xavier, and bonus mom of Darius and Darian. She's an advocate for equity and social justice. Her life's motto is "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And her favorite scripture is 1 Corinthians 16, "Let everything you do be done in love." So we'd like to welcome Teresa to share with us at this time.
Hello, lovely ladies. Thank y'all for having me this evening. And I'm going to attempt to share my screen and start the presentation. I do have a slide, and we're going to entertain a few questions at the end if you guys have them. At that time, if you have them, you can put them in the chat box. I'll try to answer them again at the end of the presentation. And but let me say that it is so good to see some of you guys' faces I have not seen since before March, when we all went indoors and we thought we were coming out in a couple of months, and we're kind of still in and a little bit out. But it's really good to see some of you that I haven't seen in so long. Tonight I want to talk to you, as I bring up the screen, about our literacy program that is a part of our Safe Haven after school and summer program. So let's see, you guys let me know. Mary, would you let me know if you can see my screen, if it's up? Yeah, I see Dawn nodding, so we're good to go. All right, so a little bit about community initiatives in Safe Haven, just to start us off. We serve the community, of course, with programs such as our free clinic, our free medical clinic for those who do not have insurance and are underinsured. We have benefits assistance programs, and those programs serve Greenwood, Lawrence, Abbeville, McCormick, Saluda, and Edgefield counties. But the one program that we only serve Greenwood County through is our Safe Haven after school and summer program. It is very specific to our community because the research that we've done to make the decisions for this program has, of course, relied on information very specific to the county that we live in. We serve children up to 6th grade with a very stringent focus on literacy through elementary school, our elementary school students. We have a 5-tier approach, which is literacy, STEAM, character education, health and wellness, and family support services. So why literacy? Why is literacy a focus of what we do? It is because we have to build paths to opportunity for our children, especially those who we know will have obstacles meeting their full potential in life. And studies have shown that in minority communities, the needs are much more dire because there are less opportunities for students to find programs and services geared toward their development. Why literacy? Because if you cannot read, you cannot fully achieve. The problem, of course, is that if a child cannot read on or above grade level, coming out of 3rd grade, then what we know is going to happen, they're going to have very strong predictors for later issues that will come up in life. For instance, they may not graduate. The percentage that a child who does not read on or above grade level by 3rd grade won't graduate high school increases, fundamentally there if they don't reach that benchmark. We are in Greenwood County, unfortunately, number 29 out of 46 counties. And that's not necessarily a good thing. We have the number of students under age 10. I have that listed for you here. But while you take a look at that, I want to tell you why literacy is important as we look at it in the scope of how a child learns. Cognitive knowledge and skills, social and emotional development, engagement in school, and physical well-being all lend a hand into how a child will be able to learn, how well a child will be able to learn. And if those things are lacking or they have needs there, then making sure they reach that literacy benchmark becomes an even harder task. So as you can see here on the screen, you're looking at 3rd grade benchmarks. And what we see is children in this purple section here who live in higher income homes are only 50% prepared. If they are in lower income homes, they're only 19% prepared. Now this furthest column here is separated by race and Hispanic origin. So you can see how children measure up there. In the red, it's talking about social and emotional development, which is one of the things that is another, key benchmark to children's success. And you can see again, children in lower income homes, regardless of their race, are only 63% prepared as compared to higher incomes, which are 75%. That again is replicated, talking about engagements in school and physical well-being. Solutions. Now, we've seen, and I've been a psychology major and doing research, writing a thesis for my first master's, I began to love research. And so most decisions that I make are research driven. And what I found in researching literacy as we make decisions for Safe Haven at community initiatives is that high quality early childhood programs that include support for families have a much more lasting impact on children as they progress through life and into school and life into adulthood. What that tells us is we cannot just look at literacy alone. So our literacy approach, of course, is addressed in several ways. And I want to tell you about that right now. We address literacy the first and foremost way by looking at the social determinants of health. On your screen, you see all 8 parts of the social determinants of health. What research has found and what working in social services for the past 24 years has found for me, or has told me, is that education can't be the only thing we focus on. Social supports, housing, their childhood experiences, their income of the family, if their family is able to find employment, the community they live in and what they can access in that community, and access to health services. That means health, being able to have health education, as well as actual medical services. They all impact the lives of not only the children, but the families. So we address these things. We have, again, in that 5-tier support, the Family Support Initiative. And we can talk with the child, we can talk with the family, we can present to a family, we can help them with social supports, we can help them with access to services, we can help them with employment, we can help them with income supports, with federal benefits, we can help create genuine and good childhood experiences, and we also advocate for them for housing. In doing these things, we make it more feasible for a parent to go home and be able to read a book to a child, as opposed to going home to worry about how will you eat? How do we keep the lights on? How do we address, the issues that I'm having at work? If we can provide the family supports, guess what? That really does equate to better literacy support at home and at our after-school program. So I want to tell you now a little bit about how we do that at Safe Haven. The first thing is we track attendance and the availability of resources for the children. We want to make sure that we have an active reading curriculum that is evidence-based, because that way we know it works. We make sure that there are books for them to read, that they can not only read there at Safe Haven, but if they like the book, they can take it home and keep it. We also do things like worksheets, flashcards, and we have volunteers and staff who guide and assist the participants. So that's how we actually do the program. Now, one of the most important things about what we do is our actual interventions that we use. We have 2 evidence-based interventions that we believe are helping our children. Kids Lit is one of them. And the reason that we like this is because not only does it help children with their reading, it helps with comprehension. Because if you can read a word, but you do not know what it means, then, you're still going to be sorely lacking. So Kids Lit, we like it because it does address literacy on 2 fronts, being able to read the word phonetically, as well as comprehension and understanding. So that curriculum, we address the children being able to read, but we also have activities where we read with them, and we also get them to relay the story back to us so that we can measure comprehension as well. The next thing is the activities that we do. Now, we have a lot of different activities, and some activities that you wouldn't necessarily think that are literacy guided, but you want to connect the hands and the eyes and the thought process and all those different things. So we have a lot of things that we do. One of the most important aspects of our program is completing the pre and post testing, making sure that we assess the children properly. So we will test them at the beginning of the school year. We will test them as they come back in the new year in January, and we also test during summer. What our results have found is that the children who are with us year round, that means they come to us during the academic school year as well as the summer session, they have gained points toward their reading level, more stringently than the children who just come in either the academic session or the summer session. So that's one reason we made our program a year-round program, because you get more bang for your buck and we can better assess and help the children. So we also make sure that we have proper instruction of the curriculum. That means training our staff. That means making sure that our staff are prepared to address issues that come up and issues that children have as it results to reading. We make sure that we're student focused and we keep our groups small. We make sure that the students have the proper instruction, but also children who learn in different ways have the different means they need to learn as best they can. One of the other prevention methods that we use is iStation. As you guys know, children love being on computers. They love iPads, they love iPhones, they love video games. And so iStation is a literacy-based curriculum that is done on the computer. It looks like a game. It's easy to play, but it also tracks the children's progress. And we also can test pre and post on it as well. So we can get monthly updates on if the child is progressing or not. So we also work closely with our schools and counselors to make sure that we get test scores and report cards. And we take a look at those test scores and see where the children are lacking so that we can, in their individual literacy plans, make sure that we address the specific needs that they have. And lastly, of course, outcomes. We want to know that what we're doing is actually working and making a difference in our children's lives. So that pre and post testing, the testing with the school districts that we are able to utilize when the parents are sharing those with us or give us permission to get those test results from the school district, they guide our work with our reading specialists. So we have 3 reading specialists that work specifically with our program. They meet with our children individually, and they develop that individual reading plan or literacy plan for each student. Now we have folks who come from Greenwood School District and Lawrence School District 55. They work there, but they actually live in Greenwood. So that's giving back to their community, and they're volunteering with us. They're there during the summer, which we are very literacy intense during the summer, but we also do that during the school year. Our station gives us a very good grasp of where our children are during the school year, because a lot of school districts use it as well. So that's how we get our outcomes. Overall, through working with the social determinants of health and our Kids Lit and iStation curriculums is how we address literacy. But we couldn't do that, of course, without training and maintaining our staff. So I wanted to make sure we had time for questions. I am going to let's see if I can bring up the chat. Here's my information, because I think I'm going to have to actually close out of this in order to see the chat to see if there are any questions. Unless, Mary, if you can relay them to me and I can answer them, because I can't see it as I'm screen sharing.
There are no questions in the chat box at this moment. Okay. And I want to just be sure that we have time for our full program here. So I think we'll move on to the next speaker. But okay, I want to get.
Well, I see one question. I'll answer it.
Oh, okay.
And so we have enrolled in our program about 160 children a year, about 80 that come during the school year and about 80 that come during the summer. And we only count kids one time. So I don't want, so we could say more, but that, we actually help 160 children and their families. We do not have connection with Dolly Parton Imagination Library, but we do have a plethora of people in the community who bring books to us. So we actually have books on site, hundreds and hundreds of books on site. The United Methodist Church gave us hundreds of books some years ago when they did their 1 million book collection. And they gifted us books that we are still using to this day. So children who have learning differences, this is another question that just popped up. Children who have learning differences like dyslexia, we definitely work with the school district. We work with their teachers and guidance counselors and their parents to make sure they have the EIPs and different things in place. And then we mirror those things on site per the learning objectives from our reading specialists per individual child. Next question is connection to healthy learners. Yes, Elaine and I, we work together. So when we have children who need services such as eyeglasses or need dental or different things like that, we make sure that we connect them to healthy learners. If the parents can't fill out, we pretty much fill out the applications, explain it to the parents, get them to sign it, and get it back to Elaine so she can get those children the services. Well, we don't have any children under age 5 right now because we usually start off with K-5. We do have some children in K4, but all of our children at this time are school age. And then I just would be remiss if I didn't give a quick shout out to our partners, Meg's House, Beyond Abuse, who comes in and does self-help programs for our students. Bloom, I think Andrea White is on with us tonight. Her program comes in and works with our girls. We also have the Food Bank of Greenwood County who helps us, and so many other people, but those, and the Greenwood County Library actually works with us. They come on site with the bookmobile. And so those folks help us make sure that we are addressing literacy as best we can. And if you have any other questions, I would encourage you all to call me at any time. My number is on the screen, or you can email me, and my email address is there as well. And thank you again for this opportunity. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Teresa. We appreciate all the information. You think you know something about a community organization, but there's always so much more you have no idea about. So we do appreciate that. So our next presentation tonight is Patty Fender, who is not able to be with us tonight via Zoom due to having to go out of town unexpectedly, but we do have a video that she is going to share with us. She would like to thank Mary Louise and the Program and Educations Committee for allowing her to be a part of this presentation tonight on literacy in our community. Patty Fender has been the program coordinator of the Adult Literacy ESL program at the Greenwood Library since 2017. Prior to coming to the library, her professional background included education and nonprofit administration. She administered a program at the Greenwood Literacy Council when it was still in existence, and was an adjunct instructor at Piedmont Tech in developmental English, reading, and math. She has also worked for several area nonprofits. The video she has to share with you tonight will illustrate what the program is like in detail, but you need to know that it was produced in May of 2019. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, much has changed since then, so it's not quite operating like that at this time. In February, the program had 26 active volunteers and 50 active students. 5 classes in English second language were being offered weekly to both beginning to advanced levels. And in March, as you all know, the library closed to the general public. In May, when it reopened to the public, it was not able to continue to offer tutoring services or small group classes. None of the volunteers were allowed to resume their tutoring sessions or classes with students. Patty did conduct and continues to conduct some Zoom tutoring sessions, but as you can imagine, teaching an English language learner via Zoom can be very challenging. And as of now, the library is slowly increasing its capacity to offer ESL and literacy services. Patty is teaching 6 students individually, and 3 of the program's volunteers have returned to tutor their students. After the first of the year, the library hopes to expand the hours back to the evenings, which will allow the literacy ESL program to once again offer small group literacy and ESL classes. Patty hopes to continue to expand the digital literacy and computer skills classes, and to begin to offer classes in citizenship with exam prep as well as work skill development classes. She looks forward to the time when the library is open again at capacity with even more students and volunteer tutors in the program. And if you are interested in becoming a literacy or ESL volunteer, or if you know of an adult student who could use the services, please contact Patty at the library. And now please enjoy meeting and listening to some of the students and volunteers tutors talk in their own words about the program and its impact on their lives.
Imagine not being able to fill out a form at a doctor's office, complete a job application, send an email, read to children, or understand the language spoken around you. Many adults do not have to imagine finding it difficult to read or understand what's being said to them because they do not have the literacy skills necessary to be economically self-sufficient, or the English language skills to fully participate in American culture and society.
I didn't feel comfortable being around other people. I didn't feel comfortable going out to the grocery store.
All my life I struggled with reading, and I have nieces, one in first grade and one in sixth grade. And when they come and ask me to read to them, it was always frustrating. I wanted to improve my reading.
It's very important to speak in English for my job, in the store, in the hospital, and a restaurant.
The level of frustration felt by these students is just, it's hard to imagine.
Nearly 16% of the adult population in Greenwood County lack basic literacy skills. Over 7% of Greenwood's population speak a first language other than English. Second Start, an adult literacy and English language learning program at the Greenwood County Library, provides services to adult learners to help them learn to read or improve their literacy skills and learn to speak English.
Our executive director, Prentice Taylor, originally came to me and asked if I thought applying for a grant through the American Library Association and the Dollar General Literacy Foundation would be a benefit to our program. So I said, certainly. What we lacked was a developed digital literacy and computer skills program specifically for our adult literacy and English language learning students. So that became our focus. Currently, we are serving 50 students, and we have about 32 volunteers.
The programs and classes available through Second Start are free of charge and help students learn basic reading and writing skills and to speak, read, and write English. Now, through the grant from the American Library Association American Dream Literacy Initiative made possible through the generous support of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation, we are able to offer basic computer and digital literacy classes specifically for adults with low literacy skills or whose first language is not English. All of the services offered by Second Start help our students improve their employment potential, their job possibilities, and empower them to take control of their lives.
I understand more.
Just the confidence, as you start to progress and learn more words, you just see the confidence in the reading.
I worked with one student who could barely speak any English when he arrived. and he wanted to become a citizen. You have to understand English, and you have to be able to write in English, and then you take a test that I swear no high school kid could possibly pass. I got the text from him, and he said he passed.
Now I can go to the restaurant, look up at the menu, and order whatever I like. I wasn't doing that.
Second Start is now coordinated by Patty Finder and uses the services of 40 volunteer tutors who teach the classes or work individually with students. The volunteers come from many backgrounds and experiences, but all of them have a strong desire to teach their students and see them succeed.
We try to make sure we tailor what we're doing to the needs of the student. They are so eager to learn, and they ask me for homework. When I worked in K-12 education, nobody ever asked me for homework. I spent 15 years in Philadelphia teaching English to adult speakers of other languages. So I had some experience with it, and it was extremely rewarding. They have a passion for it. They feel it's important, and they want to help make a difference in the students' lives.
Being a volunteer takes very little time out of the week, and tutoring times are based on the volunteers' preferred schedules.
It doesn't take much time to plan a lesson. The resources and materials that the library provides to volunteer tutors have it all in there.
You know, an hour or 2 hours a week is a time commitment, so it's not a lot.
It's easier for me because of their help.
Small group classes and individual tutoring sessions take place throughout the week during regular library hours for beginning, intermediate, and advanced ESL students.
It's better when you hear more English, the TV, the newspaper, the people.
Most students and tutors meet once a week for a 60 to 90-minute session, but ESL students may also attend as many English classes as they wish, and we can work with your schedule. Mornings, afternoons, weeknights on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and weekends.
This class helps me to learn American custom.
My tutors teaching me how to use my cell phone, how to pay my bills.
It has changed my life. I read in front of the group that I have on Wednesday nights with the tutor helping me, and just got done reading a book to my niece in first grade, Silly Tilly's Valentine's. And I was able to read that book to her without stumbling over words.
The Second Start Adult Literacy and English as a Second Language program is open to all Greenwood County citizens over the age of 18. Our volunteer tutor program is also open to all Greenwood County residents who are able to read, speak, and write English. Completion of initial tutor training workshops is required before teaching classes or tutoring a student. For more information on becoming a student in the program or a volunteer tutor, call Patty Fender at 864-941-3044 or email her pfender@greenwoodcountylibrary.org.
I love this library. It offers many, many services.
It's not the library that I grew up with.
I like to talk with the people. In one moment, I say, oh yes, I go to the library, and many people don't know. I say, yes, it's free. Somebody wants to have friends and meet more people and have a place where they can speak and learn. They have a great program. Yeah.
The Greenwood County Library, along with its branches in 96 and Greer Shoals and through the Bookmobile, serves Greenwood County. The library's mission is to help all Greenwood County citizens be more connected, informed, and entertained through free access to the library's resources and programs. Find our website at www.greenwoodcountylibrary.org or like us on Facebook at Greenwood County Library Systems. This video was also made possible through the American Dream Literacy Initiative grant and with the generous support of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
Dawn, thank you so much for that save. Lisa's going to speak to us next, but I just want to insert here, since we had a technical difficulty, there will be an email, a recap of this meeting that goes out an email to all of our members and the guests who joined us tonight. There'll also be a post on our website about it, and some Facebook posts as well. And those will include a link to that specific video, as well as a video about the Safe Haven Literacy Program. So it will not only have a recording of this meeting, but it'll have 2 video links to the 2 programs we've heard from tonight. Okay, Lisa.
Okay. Gosh, both of those programs, they really, not only did they inform, but they really warmed my heart, and I hope that they did yours as well. We would like to thank these ladies for sharing information about their work in the Greenwood community. The GWC appreciates what you do for the community, and we support you. To show our appreciation, we will be donating the following books to the Greenwood County Public Library in their honor, so that we will continue to light our community with literacy. In honor of Teresa Goodman, we present How to Read a Book. This label will be on the inside front cover. In honor of Patty Fender, we present Imagine, with this label on the inside cover. We'd like to thank them both again from GWC. And now we're going to turn it back over to Louise.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies, and also to the participants thus far. We're going to continue on now with committee reports. So we're going to stay within that hour, ladies. We have next coming up Miss Sally Kaufman, who will be talking with us. Sally?
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I'm going to try to read with expression. The newly formed Health Committee has been meeting for over the last 6 months to create a process for a new grant. The grant is funded by an endowed field of interest fund that was transferred to GWC from Jim and Denise Medford. Through discussion and planning, the committee is finalizing guidelines, application, and reporting, as well as the marketing for this new health grant. Marketing efforts will include a press release to the Index Journal, social media post, posting on the GWC website, and direct emails will go to nonprofit organizations, the contact list. This marketing will begin the first week in January and continue throughout the month. Letters of intent are due February the 8th, and full applications are due March 15th. And the guidelines are attached, and I believe that you have been sent the availability to see this. The application forms will be available. The application forms will be available in Dropbox as soon as minor revisions are completed.
Okay, we thank you for that information. So another birthing opportunity. Our next is our GWC grant wrap up. Tracy and your committee, if you'll take it away.
Thanks, Louise, and thank you to the program committee for putting together such a fabulous presentation tonight. It was very good. Thank you for Teresa as well for being here and sharing with us, and we thank Patty as well for pointing us towards that video in her absence. I am one of the co-chairs for the Grants and Review Committee. Allison, if you want to wave to the people. And also any of our other committee members, if you want to wave to everybody so they can see you and know who you are, that'll be great. thank you to these ladies for such a wonderful job this year. We had, as you know, the 19 applications. We were able to fund 10 for $74,000. So in the short 2 years or 3 years that we've been in existence, though, but over the 2-year grant cycle, we've already granted $121,000. So give yourselves a hand because y'all are fabulous. So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward as well, as Sally mentioned, to this new health grant fund. We, of course, as a group, we love our local nonprofits and want to support them in any way that we can. Also, we will be putting together an article for the Index Journal Greenwood Today, some other publications about our grant cycle for this year. So we will be letting the public know the good work that's going on here at Greenwood Women Care, to highlight those 10 organizations that are recipients. And we'll also be placing online shortly our 2021 grant cycle. So we're already looking forward to next year's grant cycle, but that will be posted on our website very soon. And just as a closing note, I've highlighted a lot of things that the grant committee has been working on. If you're interested in working on the grants review and awards committee, please reach out to myself or Allison Fletcher. We would love to have you join. I think we're about 15 women already involved, but there's always room for more. So if you're interested, please just reach out to one of us and we will gladly bring you into the fold. So thanks again, ladies, for including us as part of this program committee for this evening. Thanks.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep. I'm
Laura.
Laura Chinsky.
Laura,
Yeah?
sorry, Summer was going to say a word about membership before you close us out.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, everybody, great program tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's one thing that's important to me, is the informative phase of everything we get from GWC, so that we can get a bird's eye view of what's going on with these organizations. It's wonderful. I am co-chair of the membership committee along with Mary Woodowis, and wanted to let everyone know that we are mailing out our renewal packets this week for your membership dues. So be looking for that packet to arrive by the end of the week. And in it, you'll find 3 pieces. There'll be a letter. There's going to be a renewal form for your dues, and then another page that kind of goes over the highlights of where we have been through this year of 2020. Your dues are need to be returned by December the 31st. And that's very important, unless you've made prior arrangements with Mary Woodowis about paying after that date. But we just want to remind everybody that it's, we've had such a great year with grants this year, $74,000 donated. We want to continue our good work in the community of Greenwood. So please make sure that you get your form returned by the end of December. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Hi, now it's my turn. Hi, I'm Laura Baczynski, co-chair of GWC's steering committee. It was so good to be with everyone here in this shared Zoom room this evening. And I want to say thank you to Louise Robinson, the chair of Programs and Education Committee, for coordinating our quarterly meeting that focused on literacy programs in Greenwood County, and to everyone who helped make this informative and interesting program possible. Thank you. We're happy to welcome guests to each of our gatherings, and we're very glad that a number of guests could join us tonight. GWC grows through membership of a broad range of women from many professional and personal sectors, and our membership is open to everyone. New members may join us at any time, and participating in our organization is truly rewarding as we seek to enrich and strengthen our community in the good company of community-minded women. GWC has remained active over these past few months of sort of being on our own. We've continued with important committee activities through Zoom meetings. We announced our 2020 grant cycle. We conducted a grant writing workshop for the community at no cost. We shared birthday greetings. We provided video snapshots of 23 participating nonprofits. We kept our members informed through our e-newsletter. And finally, we granted out $74,000 to Greenwood County nonprofits. None of these good works could be accomplished without you, our members. So please keep your renewal to GWC at the top of your priorities as we move into 2021. And on behalf of the steering committee, I would like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and a peaceful and loving holiday season. We have plans in the works to continue to find ways to stay connected during this challenging time, and we'll keep you posted on our next quarterly meeting. Many thanks for attending this evening, and take good care until we get to see you again. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Thank y'all. It was good to see everybody. Bye-bye.
It was great.
Good night and thank you.
Bye.
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 Everyone.